All right, so this is Joy News, your election headquarters. And folks, the talk is over. The decision has been made. The outcome, we are awaiting the final decision of the 55,000 delegates that went to the 119 polling centers to vote in this parliamentary by-election at Akwatia in the Eastern region. What they put in the ballot box is what we are about to see in the next few hours to come. My time is over. But I'm transferring you over to Faustina Safo, who is in a full package today. Faustina, you're welcome.
Thank you, Elton. And we're looking forward to how this would turn out PM across the country, just like you have rightly said. And in Akwatia, the ballot boxes are sealed. Voting officially ends in today's closely watched by-election. The focus now shifts from the queues to the count as the election officially begins with sorting and tallying of votes. Now, on the ballot, it is a straight fight between the NPP's Solomon Kwame Esumedu and the NDC's Bernard Bidiako-Bedu, both hoping to secure the seat left vacant after the sudden passing of MP for the area, NS Kumi. Security, we know, has been tight throughout the day with heavy police presence on the ground to maintain calm and ensure a smooth process. So far, with the individuals we've engaged, they tell us that turnout has been impressive with over 52,000 registered voters and 119 polling stations. All eyes are now on the results, and we will be bringing you all that here on your election headquarters. My name is Faustina Safa, and I take over from my colleague, Elton Brobe. Well, let's now bring you some key details of what happened earlier on the grounds. We know that while voters in Akwatia queued earlier at polling stations to cast their ballots in the by-election, especially at Brim River, a vital water source in the constituency continues to flow in a disturbing milky brown state, evidence of the unrelenting devastation caused by illegal mining activities. For years, residents along the river have complained about the destructive impact of illegal mining on their livelihoods and health. Well, today, as political parties straight promise and seek votes, the reality of the Brim River stands as a stark reminder of challenges that extend beyond elections. My colleague Nana Boachi-Yadum has been engaging some key individuals in the area.
Across various polling centers in the constituency. But where we are currently, or where I am currently, is on top or the sides of the Brim River. And we are looking at some other stories, compelling stories that must be told amidst the ongoing by-election here at Akwatia. Akwatia is known to be a mining community. But then while we are looking at the ongoing by-election to select a new member of parliament, we're also looking at the destruction for gold. And so you can see on my left is the other side of the Brim River, highly polluted in its milky shape. The destruction continues in Akwatia while we continue to fight to elect a new member of parliament. We have 5,500 police officers here. But what is the major problem? What is the concern? Why do we still have to go through or come to observe such destruction in such critical moment as this, when we are having the election of a new member of parliament, a by-election to be precise? Today we have been told happens to be a breaking day, and so the miners are not going to the various mining areas or enclaves to mine. That is why even for us, luckily they say this one even looks clean. It could have been more milkier than what we see here. This shows that our fight against illegal mining has not stopped, and then the destruction continues. I'd want to speak to one man here, just ambushed him a little. But Pacho, I'm sure you live in the community. If not, you've seen the destruction that is happening on my right and my left. The Brim River, very, very muddy and milky. The destruction continues. Are you worried about what is happening in the Akwatia constituency?
Exactly. I'm very, very worried. Looking at the current condition of our land and then the water bodies, a time is coming where the next generation is going to really face a difficult time due to the negative effect of the illegal mining.
And looking at the fact that today happens to be the day that the constituency is electing a new member of parliament, what do you think that this person, MPP, NDC, LPG, if elected, can do to curb the menace?
Okay, I think our leaders, when elected to power, should really put their feet on the ground to curb this canker that is spreading. They should not concentrate on the current resources or the money they will get now, but they should look into the future, our next generation, how it's going to be like, so that they will forfeit the enjoyment or the money they think they will get now by destroying the land and the water body, and rather preserve it for the next generation to come. So they should all put hands on board to curb this situation.
Looking at the destruction here, I'm sure this is a source of water to some people. Do you think that it becomes difficult to use this as a community member?
Yeah, this has been a source of water in time past, but now it's very difficult to use it. Even those who are under the use of, let's say, water, Ghana Water Company, though they are refining or they are trying to purify it, but then the effect and the stink is still there. So it means that if this thing is not stopped with immediate effect, we are going to face a challenge in the future.
Thank you very much. Can you tell us your name?
My name is Prosper Abuchi.
Thank you, Prosper, for joining us on Joy News. And that is Prosper, and he is a community member here at Akwatia, talking about how this destruction, if not curbed immediately, would affect the community members. I have another gentleman here with me. He's also making sales in the community, but I spotted him and then asked him about the destruction. He has a different opinion to share. In Sony say, Mumuniama say, Okrui Mugalamsi Hamo, Osha, Deni Betimi Ayedia Sonyama Wiano.
Budamasi mechia mpenufuo ne timemfuo ayewo mvanze krodua yimu mvanze ndo na mfiri asama beduru asama kesi but baby guess house am ko da no timi say Ghana ye face problem bebrebe ni ye face because ensu asabi mi di dwale kura no te enka wom so as ensu a di dwale wa guest house no wote enka wo nsuo no I can pass a woman that call him. Indeed, I can say, Yampenu for no muncho money, no more timum for not timum for near bread. So I say, okay, can you say, because I call a cassa, the ocean the cassa, where party way. But yet, timum for a pair or money ye dear. So I say, or man you two power, a boy or man who come bien.
My colleague there, Akwatia Adam, engaging some residents of Akwatia. Now, if you just tuned in, it's officially end of polls in that community and sorting is underway. We'll be taking you live to all our correspondents on the ground, visiting different polling stations just to bring you the results as soon as they begin to trickle in. And my colleague Collins Frimpong, you can see in shots there, is at one of the polling stations where already sorting has commenced. Akwatia by-election has officially ended and it's decision time. We're getting to find out what exactly residents of Akwatia feel about who should steer the affairs of the community. Let me take you over live now to my colleague Collins Frimpong on the ground, currently sorting underway at that polling station where he is currently. Collins, what can you report? The polling station in Akwatia currently sorting underway.
Underway at where currently we are. That's the background in Chakrasi in Akwatia, the hometown of the LDP and earlier on he voted in the Chakrasi Community Day Senior High School. When we engaged him, he complained about the young voter turnout. In that particular polling station where he voted, we were expecting about 419 people to come and cast their vote. And after 1 p.m. there, we had little about also
okay, so who the best
voting at that time, or who are at that time. And she believes that because traditionally on a Tuesday they are having trade in market day. the media, the various commentaries that people are running about the security situation, people going to attack others. That sends wrong signals to the people in Akwatia, which prevented them from coming out, which showed that the low turnout was due to the various commentaries, according to the NDC's parliamentary candidate. But he is quite optimistic that he is going to clinch the parliamentary seat in the Akwatia. You know, when it comes to this particular constituency, it's a swing NPP do not really have dominance, and NDC also do not have dominance. But just that 2024 is happening to go to the NPP side, but they are really determined that they will win it. But when it comes to the background here at Akwatia Seat, where he hails from, then this is Canada hails from. As I said earlier on, 581 voters were expected, and after the time polls closed, 398 voters have come to vote. And you see the NPP's candidates also coming around. That is Solomon Akubadi coming in with Sami Owuku, who they have been here in how voting has been so far. And that was before polls closed. It was less than 5 minutes to 5 p.m. And they observe that everything has been going on well, that that after polls or after everything is said and done, is going to engage the media. When it comes to the security-wise, everything is also top notch. I can count about the initial, less than 5 weeks ago, we had 3 police going to take us around the station here. And also we have seen the police also moved in their numbers. And this time around, they are wearing their special Robocop style armor. Robocop style armor that is going to help them counter any attacks that will come here at the polling station. And we have also seen a number of incidents within the Akwatia community also coming around to observe what has been happening so far and how the polls within this particular polling station and then when we engage some of them earlier on, that since the industry candidate here and also with road construction ongoing, earlier on when it came here, we saw that machines were on the stretch, the main road in the community, and they earlier moved some of them, the graders out of the community to see where earlier on another grader was also working over there, ensuring that all the roads are leveled and good enough for those users to use them. And they believe that it is quite good for them because they have been in the community and quite a number of years. They have not seen graders, they've not seen any rollers on their roads trying to level it for them. But apart from that, even though by election, they believe that yes, since it is development, every form of development is okay. But a few of them believe that that was a form of vote buying, and that is not going to change their mind. But when it comes here, I can tell you that being the background at Akwatia Seat here, where 581 visitors were expected to vote, and we had about 398 people voting here. Everything is going on well. There hasn't been any chaos. The police have moved their barricade and get forward to prevent people from coming. About 100 meters away from the polling station where the counting is being done, no car, no motorcycle. No one is being allowed to park within the 100 meters. And also people cannot be in groups in any form of discussion just within 100 meters of the polling station. So things are ongoing very well. We expect the sorting to be done in about 10 minutes time or 15 minutes time. Then counting will also be will start. Then we will know how it will end over here at the background in Akwatia.
So much, Collins, just giving us updates as to what exactly is happening at Akwatia Seat in Akwatia. We're just getting updates as to what we should expect if you just tune in. Voting has officially ended in Akwatia. It's been hours of a lot of talks. So far, individuals tell us that turnout has been great on the ground, and we're looking forward to what exactly constituents have decided, and that will be telling us who exactly will be stirring the affairs of Akwatia within the next couple of years in Parliament? Would it be the NDC or the NPP? That's a question on the minds of many. On your screens, we showed you just how ready the police have been all day. Tight security at Akwatia. Some of them with their shields and helmets. Now that counting would officially begin at some polling station, you should expect that they are on the ground to ensure that calm is restored. But Collins, were just telling us about the turnout at Takrase, the polling station where you are. So far, what has been the numbers you've been receiving from the polling agents?
So, since the polls ended, we've been able to engage only one of the EC officers at just one polling station. When it comes to the here, we have 10 polling stations here, and when you go to Kuse, which is also a few minutes away from Takrase, where the candidate for the NDC hails from, it's just less than 10 minutes drive away from that particular location. And when that Kuse, we have 7 polling stations. And when it comes to the Takrase, when we were here, let me start with this particular polling station, the Denver ground. Yes, we were expecting 581 voters, 398 turn up to vote over here. Now that sorting is ongoing, we will get to know if any of the ballot papers will be rejected or will be announced, or we are going to accept all the 398. But earlier on our visit to the Takrase Community Day High School showed that was around 2 p.m. low turnout around that location. Over about 119 people were affected, and after 2 p.m., only 120 people had come to vote. And what we visited...
And take that number again for me, Collins. You said out of how many expected voters, how many has turned up so far?
So, with only one polling station that we've been to, the polls have closed. 581 were expected to vote.
Okay.
These are official numbers from the AC.
Okay.
398 voted. So out of the 581 expected votes, 398 came to vote.
Okay.
So now sorting is underway. We are here to visit the remaining 9 polling stations within Takrase, but our area check shows that there will be low turnout, especially with the polling station that the NDC candidate himself votes. At 2 p.m., 120 people have come to vote, as against 491. So now the sorting, the electoral official is engaging the residents that they are about to open the ballot box and start the sorting. Initially, they were checking the numbers if it tallies, if each agent figures tallies with that of the AC and their opponent's agent. And they have come to agreement that everything is fine. So now sorting will begin. Yes, so as I was saying, when we went there, within the 10 polling stations within Takrase, the numbers were not encouraging after 2 p.m. But when we also went to Kuse, which is also less than 10 minutes drive away from the NDC candidate hometown, the numbers were not encouraging. With some of the polling stations that were there, we were expecting 500 people to come to vote. That is Kuse Primary School. And after the time that we were there, we had less than 100 voters around there. And the number of places that we had been there around before 12 p.m. have not even recorded even up to 100 voters. Some of the polling stations around there, 7 polling stations, some of them were expecting 400 voters, 419 around those figures there. And the numbers were not even up to have at that window. But let's say we know how the Ghanaian behavior is, the kind of our lackadaisical attitude when things are ongoing and tend to delay a bit. Then we'll see last minute we see people rushing to vote. I tend to suspect, I want to believe that That's the kind of attitude that the people were trying to put up. But the security-wise also, some of them believe that with the increased number of police presence within the constituency was also intimidating. The IGP and the police or the election task force deploying 5,500 police officers into the constituency was somehow intimidating for them, according to some of them. But some also believe that it was a step in the right direction, considering what happened in Ablikuma and also various by-elections that have happened coming into Akwatia and with a high stakes NPP trying to gain ground after losing the presidential election in 2024 and losing massive seats. Sorry, for seats after losing massive numbers in terms of seats in the parliamentary. They will want to reclaim their Akwatia seat, especially when they were having it in 2024. So they believe that the security-wise was somehow a bit scary for them, and they needed to stay home to observe how things will be unfolding as the day goes by. That so far, largely, everything has been fine within the community, within the polling stations. Within the polling stations, we didn't see anyone, any police officer with guns or any weapon as it was being promised by the IGP that everything was going to be fine. Until polling polls ended, where you see the police coming in dressed in their Robocop style, Robocop style armor dressing, that is with their helmets and their shields, everything coming in. So everything has been peaceful. And the turnout, I believe, it is normal when it comes to by-elections. We do not huge turnout. Turnout. If we compare 2016, our voter turnout has been reducing. If we compare to 2020, 2016 to 2020 to 2024, our voter turnout has been reducing. So with the by-election also coming in and what happened in Ablikuma and subsequent commentaries on radio stations and TV stations, I believe that any numbers that we're recording will be fine. But we are going to have a fair winner here. Nothing has happened so far.
And Collins will be with you throughout, right from the counting till the final declaration of results, because we want to ensure our audience get a feel of what exactly is happening in Akwatia. It's finally the time for us to find out how residents feel about both the governing NDC and the opposition MPP, and who exactly they feel is right for the job. Earlier, we received concerns about construction works ongoing and how that could possibly influence votes. You're on the ground. We know we have heavy security presence, but has there been any sort of vote buying incident that you spotted?
For me, and the team within Takrasi and Kusi, we didn't see any attempt of vote buying, but we heard reports within the Takrasi community, especially at Kusi. The name of that particular police station is Funeral Grounds. When we were there, we were engaging Mustafa Bandi, the Deputy General Secretary of the NDC, who came in with Joseph Yamin, one of the executives of the NDC. So they came in with their executives and their security. And earlier on, as you mentioned, we saw construction works ongoing with regards to roads. Yes, we actually broke that particular news. Multi-regionally broke that news first. When we went to Tusi, we observed that 3 major roads were under construction. And according to our engagement with the community folks, construction actually started less than a week. Some of them were escalated 5 days before the polls, 5 days before the by-election. That's when they started with the reshaping of the roads. Some of them believe that it is going to be an asphalt. And also some of them believe that even if it's an attempt to sway their votes to the NDC side, it is fine. Because some of them, they don't recall. This is coming from the youth that we engage and some of the Okada riders that I can assume their age range being between 20 to 28, telling me that since they were born, they've not seen any grader or any roller on their roads, reshaping the roads within the Chakrasi. We've also heard reports that when Chito, the situation is not different. Machines are on their roads that are reshaping them. And if we move to when Kitsi, it comes to Chakrasi, no different as you reported. And with regard to the vote buying, at the funeral grounds in Kuti, after we engaged Mustafa Bandi, we had people, residents, that they were ready to go and cast their votes. Having heated exchange that we have visuals on, that on our various social media platforms, people, our followers can get the visuals to watch them. People accusing some political party officials from the NDC that they have bribed or they have attempted. Some people have received some amount of money from both the NPP and the NDC camp, and the amount was 200 to the sharing among them. Once again, my team and myself, we didn't see that. We only witnessed the heated exchange that ensued between them and one of the political party's officials. Mustafa Banje came in, he and Joseph Yami and their security and the police presence moved in to ensure that order was restored. So we spoke with the NPP official that most of the people were pointing fingers at, that they saw him or they saw and also heard paying 200 cedis to some of the people, the voters, to come and vote for the NPP candidate. He denied vehemently nothing of that sort has happened. He has never done that, and he don't intend to do anything of that sort. He accused the NDC that it was a tactic, or all these things, all these accusations leveled against him and his party were tactics that the NDC has deployed in a way that they just want to create confusion, then they will pass behind to do whatever that they want to do. But we engaged Mustafa Bandi, and he said, no, they don't intend to do anything like that. As a matter of fact, they believe that they are going to win hands down. They've done everything possible to put in the measures that they deserve to win this particular Akwatia seat. That is according to Mustafa Bandi. And also, with regards to the road construction, he responded to some of the allegations that were being made.
Okay.
And his response was that if the roads were deplorable and former President Akufo-Addo did not do anything about it.
And Collins will be with you all through, right till the declaration of the final results, because that's key for us. But let me take you now to my other colleague on the ground as well, Samuel Kojo-Brace. Sorting officially underway in that polling station where you are. Tell me more. Well, on your screens there are official visuals from Akwatia. Currently, voting has ended, sorting underway in some polling stations. Counting officially has begun, and we will be finding out who exactly the constituents have decided to steer the affairs of Akwatia, and that will be coming up in a matter of minutes. So far, heavy security presence on the ground. We can see the police there, residents abiding by the rules set by the police. And in the studio with me, we will be exploring this further. Join me now is Asa Santi. He's a political analyst, just to look at some of the key things we're seeing play out at Akwatia and why this seat exactly is so important for both the NDC and the NPP. Why are they so enthused about it? Some argue that the NDC already has supermajority in parliament, especially taking into consideration that the NPP have signaled they would not be running for Tamale Central, meaning you still have your numbers. So why are you so enthused about this seat? What exactly is in Akwatia that you want? And then the NPP is also seeking to secure that seat because the NPP won that seat. But historically, Akwatia, we know, has always been a swing seat. Both the NDC and the NPP have equal chances to actually win that seat. And so for them, it's about protecting their ballot, especially because of what happened at Akwatia, Ablikma here in the Greater Accra region. The NPP, they were leading at the time, but after that result ended on that fateful day, despite the chaos, they lost the seat. And so really a lot of things playing out at Akwatia. Doc, I'll come to you just to get your initial thoughts about how today has panned out. Peaceful at some polling stations, your general assessment?
It has been peaceful, except that ugly spectacle that we saw.
Indeed.
Which I think is very unfortunate. But all in all, I can say that it went on smoothly. I'm praying that the last moment of it will also see a peaceful post-election process. And then we know we have come to an end of this program. That said, I have to make the statement that I commend the police for the professional work, even though they are not done yet. But you can see that they were on top of their game. And that also fortifies me into saying that if we take our hands off the police, they will do a professional work. But more often than not, that has not been the case because political actors have, some interest beyond the interest of the state. So for that reason, they always work in a certain way that tie the hands of the police and they become ineffective. But I know that professionals as they are, if we allow them to work. So it is my hope and prayer that everything will go on well. And then we have to learn something from this, that we should not go for by-election or any election for that matter, where it looks as if that the world is coming to an end. It shouldn't be.
But we saw a lot of strict measures put in place by the police, even as at last night. They were going around the community, making sure everything was on point before today. Should this be the standard moving forward?
That has been the standard. It's not new. Peace is an important ingredient.
I'm referring to the police presence, how heavy it is at Akwatia. Should this be the standard in every polling station moving forward? Why? Why shouldn't it be? Because it appears this is yielding results. We're seeing the thugs flee from the scene. Shouldn't we adopt this strategy moving forward?
Yes, I'm saying that should not be the case, because otherwise we are saying that if we are going for general election, if one constituency, we can marshal forces like this, then you are talking about what? 276, you need Ghana Army in addition to the police. Is that what we need? No.
But we have the men, don't we?
No, but if election, which is supposed to be a very simple exercise, we have to deploy all our military and police, then virtually we are in a state of state collapse. The state has collapsed, but the state has not collapsed.
But haven't we learned from history
we are not ready to learn?
Holding peaceful elections must come at a cost.
But
we saw the same play out at Ablikma North.
Yes, that we create the scene. If we decide that we can play it safe, we will end up being 10 up to 20 policemen gathering a place for a by-election. Or even 10 for the sake of it. Right? Then we are good to go. You see, I am worried because, you see, anytime we are talking about free and fair elections, people forget about one thing. There are indices for measuring that. And one of it is war peace. Right? You need that. And people think that, going to register, voter education, constituency demarcation, and the rest of them, that is true. But peace is a critical index of free and fair election, without which we will not have any election. So it should be part and parcel of our socialization that we inculcate into people from the word go. That look, election is not do or die affair. It's a contest of ideas and the work you have done, your records. Show me your records and demonstrate to me that you have superior knowledge over the problems that we have and you want to share with me. If it resonates with me, I'll vote for you. If not, I'll vote against you. A very simple matter. And then when you go for election, it should be violent free, because any irregularity undermines the free nature. It becomes something else, not free and fair.
But without this extent of security presence in moving forward in subsequent elections, do you think we would actually achieve that free and fair peaceful process, especially because although the political parties will not admit on camera, we know internally they have security apparatus that work with the party, some of whom they use to instigate some of these violent scenes we see during elections. If we're seeing it play out in Akwatia, that heavy security presence is the way to go, why shouldn't we adopt that strategy moving forward?
Is it sustainable? Can the state afford to pay? You can't just put security there without cost. The cost of what? Building, potable water, the cost of fixing a road. If we go on that trajectory, at the end of the day, resources that we could channel into what? Wiping away students or pupils who study under 3, will be marshalling those forces for keeping election security. What point is that? It's pointless. All that I'm saying that everybody, it is our committed or it's a call on us to make sure that we have what? Free and fair election, devoid of things like this, so that we know that we are growing a democracy. It's not that we've held a successful election and all that. No, the real issues are what we are witnessing. So without the police, can we have free and fair? No. So it tells you that there is a problem. And that problem is that the political actors, I will forever blame them unless they change their modus operandi. They are the ones who cause this. The cocoa seller, the watches seller, the kinke seller, is it the one who instigate people? No. But the political actors, they are the ones who do it. But we glorify them. Anytime they do, the party has won, hooray, we go back to sleep. The next time, they threaten everybody, and then we sit on tenterhooks, and once the elections are over, we go to sleep. The problem is escalated to another level in the next election, and we sit on thorns. That cycle must be broken, and the time is now.
How do we break it, really?
Yes, we see those who engage in this, throw them out by voting against them. And that is why other political parties must show their presence in such places, so that when we see that the two are violent, we can give our vote to the third party.
And that's one of the greatest concerns individuals have raised, that we're running largely a two-party system in this country. It's either you're going for the NDC or the NPP. The other political parties don't seem to be pulling their weights, are they?
I am arguing from the backdrop that for parliamentary, people can afford to give it to what? A third force. But for presidential, remember, the basis of this problem is the way this country was built. It was built along what? A two-party system. The British colonial authority, in leaving this country, bequeathed to us this a two-party system. If you go to Britain, it's two-party. Two-party system means that there are a number of parties in the state, more than one, but only two have what it takes to win power and form government. If you go to Britain, Labour and Conservative, they win elections all the time. It doesn't mean that there are not other parties. Other parties exist, all right? Yes, in Britain, but only these two always win elections. In Ghana, it's CPP, which has, found expression in NDC. And if you look at NDC, the backbone of NDC are people who migrated from CPP, and they found expression here. So it's a CPP Dankwabuzia tradition, which is any other group becomes a dwarf party. And the two-party system, other parties, if they don't take care, they don't win power. If you go through the two-party system history in the world, all right, I think in one of the Scandinavian countries, the party ruled for 52 years. Can you imagine? Even in Africa, I can give you an example. You have parties which have ruled for so long a time, two-party systems. And those are the things, if you want to break this, then there must be a conscious effort. One, to make sure that you come out with a law that takes us to what? Proportional representation.
Stay with me, Doc. I'll come back to you to make that point. But let's take you back to Akwatia. Results are already trickling in, and we have some provisional results. But let me take you there live. My colleague Blessed Suga already engaged in some constituents in the constituency following the declaration of some results in some polling stations.
Thank you very much for that.
Oh, everything cool. Oh, baby, I come. Baby, I come. Then you say about to say aban hu say akotiafo ye ha adwen kasa ne ntokwa koso ha no ame aduma ma ne sa ye ma ne sa akotia kasa ye nya basabasa ye nya ya fa nya ya fa nya se lokale ho na waka nya mbi ye twem no enya nda samo we twem ye yitu ne ba no bi enya butu twem deda no na o hye ya o ma ye de o mo se de bi se senator de
na mu person new MP no obey am
oh new MP no oba ti ade ye do bebe bia no e beje na wa tu
senator
ye ni mi se mi MP bi ni ndisi
senator
to me nde mi ni obia but do beba obebo akotia youth na ye ba no mpelefon do mko ba ye nkola na ye ba ne de se hin oboafo a obetima boa ye na akotia.
My colleague Blessed Sugar there engaging some residents who are optimistic about how the process will turn out. So far, provisional results are beginning to trickle in, and we'll just run you through some of them. From Bodia Lorry Station, Solomon Asumedu has won 127 votes, while Bernard Bidiakubedu for the NDC has won 282. LPG 3, rejected ballot 3. So from provisional results from Bodia Lorry Station, it appears that the NDC is leading in that polling station with 282 votes, while the MPP follows closely with 127 votes. More results trickling in at Akwatia Lorry Station, NPP 83 votes, while the NDC 333 votes, LPG 0, rejected ballot 1, and that is in Station A. Also, when it comes to other polling station at Jonase Presby, the polling station there, the NPP, provisional results 206, NDC 81, and also we have other results trickling in as well, and we're running you through the numbers as soon as we have them, just giving us a sense of what we should expect in the next few minutes when we have final results from all the polling stations. And trust us, we're your election headquarters. We'll be here to have the declaration of the winner of that seat. But I still have Doc with me in the studio, and you can just see on your screens now counting underway at some polling station. Doc, you're just making a point before I had to come in at that point to update our viewers on some of the key things happening at Akwatia.
Yes, so as I was saying, if you look at the two-party system, they tend to dwarf any other party. So you don't see the effect of those parties. And if we want to deal with this problem, then we need a law that can bring to bear a change in the situation. Proportional representation is one of the solutions where it can change the dynamics. You can also go in for a multi-party system. Yeah. People use the concept loosely in Ghana, that, oh, this is a multi-party democracy. From a loose point of view, we will accept that you are talking about more than one political party. But in political science, when we say a multi-party, we are talking about all the parties that exist in that state. All of them have equal chance of winning election. But as to whether they can form a government on their own, it's always not impossible. They normally end up as a coalition. So that is it. So you go to places like Israel, Germany, Jordan, and the rest. You see coalition governments formed. It's as a result of some of these things. And that one, you are not likely to have a landslide victory. No. Because of the system. That will allow other parties to exist. But if you should have a two-party, the two-party will win forever. You can even have an independent candidate, presidential candidate. It will not be able to survive. And we're seeing it play out even with this by-election, where the LPG is recording votes as low as 1 and 2 and some polling stations. Some of the provisional results still trickling in. New Wenchi Presbyterian School A, NPP 314 votes, NDC 107, LPG 0, rejected ballots 7.
some provisional results just trickling in, and we'll be bringing you that update as soon as we have them. Our correspondents are on the ground. Officially, counting is underway at Akwatia. Now, my colleague Samuel Kojo-Brace is on the ground, just join us live from one of the polling stations there at Akwatia. Kojo, what can you report?
Well, firstly, this is Bodua Lorry Station, and the counting just ended. The MPP, as I spoke to earlier, they were telling me they are looking at maximizing their vote here. But, when we're expecting some 612 people to cast their vote here, at the end of the day, the MPP recorded some 111 votes, as against the NDC's 323 for the NDC, with 2 rejected ballots. The LPG had 0. The LPG had 0 here. So at the Bodua Lorry Station polling station, the NPP had 111. The NDC, on the other hand, had 323. LPG had 0. And we had 2 rejected ballots. So that is what we just recorded here. The counting is underway in several police stations, and so we'll be getting the results and bringing them to you on Joy News. Firstly.
Indeed, Kojo-Brace, we are on the ground, and we'll be bringing you all the live visuals that we have, just painting a picture for you as to what exactly is happening at Akwatia. Some provisional results we have at Apinamam LA GHS polling station. NDC 144 votes, the NPP 182 votes, LPG 2 votes, rejected ballots 6. Doc, it appears that we would be on the grounds throughout, just to give our audience a sense of what is happening. So pardon me if I have to come in every now and then to take them live on the grounds. But then, why is Akwatia really such a big deal?
Akwatia is a big deal for this election for 2 reasons. One, it is a test of the resilience of the MPP. And it is also a test of the declining popularity or goodwill, if you like, of the NDC.
Okay.
Yes. While some people are looking at it that, look, are MPP resilient to weather the storm? You are dealing with a party which has already, 184 minus Tamale Central, 183. And they are still soldiering on. Can you withstand that? Do you have that capacity to resist that? And then you flip the coin. The NDC is also here in there. People are looking at it. In spite of all your goodwill, do you still have that on the ground? This is a real test, because this is a swing constituent. It can swing in favor of any party there, the 2 dominant parties. So do you still have the goodwill 7 months into office? So there are a lot at stake here. Aside this, remember that NDC is looking forward to getting 184. That is to test majority. And you know what to test majority can do in Parliament. It can help them to amend non-entrenched provisions, form quorum, and take all the important decisions without necessarily the support of any other party. Remember that the independent candidates, right, they can work with them. But on their own, when they get 184, the independent candidates, they can decide as and when to engage them. So that is the reason why you are seeing this type of pusher from each of the actors in there. But aside there, the demography also speaks volume, all right, or it gives us a little inkling as to what is happening. Look at, this is an area where it's predominantly Acham people. But you have what? Groups of what? Groups coming from what? The background of Evers, about 17%. The Akans there, about 66%. The Evers, about 17%. The Gadangwe, about 17%. And other groups, about what? 11%. It gives you a sense of what is happening. And if you look at it from the backdrop that this is a place where mining is rife, it is important to know that even though mining is rife, the main large-scale mining has gone down. That is the Great Consolidated Diamond Limited, because of what? Resources and other factors, is not performing the way it ought to be. But that aside, we have small-scale mining and galamsey activities going on. Besides that, they also boast of a very proud hospital like the St. Dominic Catholic Hospital, one of the best secondary schools there, St. Rosie's and all that. So it's a place that attracts a lot of people. And then that has also changed the dynamics. So when you have all these things, in addition to what we call enclaves within stronghold, Eastern region obviously is a dominant area for the MPP. But we have enclaves within Eastern region that they always show what? Swing, results. And this is one of the enclaves. And enclaves results always create a certain type of picture, which is playing out here. Go to Asamase, in the belly of Ashanti, and then you have Asamase voting the way they do for the NDC. And this one also a swing. So these dynamics, you continue to see that. But all in all, one thing is clear, that people are voting mostly for what? The economy. In the area of what? Economy, which has found expression in what? Development. If you look at the Info Analytics report, they are saying that the top consideration of voters there for this by-election is what? Development.
Yes, development, because Akwatia really mostly thrives with mining and what have not. And for decades now, that industry has stifled because of some of the factories there are not operational. And they're looking forward to an administration that can turn their fortunes around. But I'm wondering how this election would give them that change they're looking for. Because historically, from as far back as 1992 to 1996, the NDC held the seat. 2000, 2008, the NPP held the seat. In 2012, the NDC held it. 2016, the NPP. 2020, the NDC. And then finally, 2024, the NPP took the seat. So we've had both political parties given equal opportunity to actually rule this constituency. And unfortunately, the jobs they're looking for, the community development they're looking for, still hasn't arrived. So what's different this time? What's their guarantee that either the NDC or the NPP can give them that promise that they are always looking forward to?
They have no option to turn to, apart from these two. That is why we are seeing what we are seeing. Otherwise, the best to reject the two, because what we are looking for, we don't have it. But the alternative is non-existent.
That's the problem.
All right, and that is why you want to also develop other individuals or other groups so that in event of this nature, they can step into the shoes of these dominant parties who have never given them any development. Because if development is what they are looking for, and up to date they don't have it, and on what basis are they campaigning? And if you listen to their campaign, NDC campaign, vote for us, we are in government, and we will provide what? The development. And I ask myself, everybody, if you read the Constitution, I think Article 35 areas there, it gives you a sense of what this state is looking forward to. That every portion of this country needs a fair share of the country's development. And so infrastructure development we want to see at everywhere. And they are saying that, we are in government, so vote for us and we'll be able to give you development. Are you saying that those in opposition can't develop an area? What is the essence of the common fund given to them?
And it's shocking that the NPP actually won that seat. And Kumi did an amazing job with that seat because the NDC overwhelming victory with the presidential elections. And so you would expect, because that seat was initially an NDC seat, Henry Boachi held the seat for the party, but they were able to turn the fortunes around and take over that seat. I'm sure that is why the NPP is bent on ensuring they maintain the seat, even though it may not affect their numbers in parliament.
Oh, dear, yes, you need to, a place which is swing, you have every reason to compete and compete well, so that you demonstrate your mettle to the people that you are still in business. Otherwise, you'll be forgotten in no time. And for swing, one disadvantage is that if you don't show your presence and you lose out, the other party takes advantage forever. And you going back becomes what? A problem. So political parties are very careful of this. And then they put in their all to make sure that they get the results that they want. It's a real toss-up. It's a real toss-up. And so toss-ups, you can understand these dynamics. But it goes also without saying that, look, all these things we do, but every time we go to Akwatia, it's always we are sitting on tenterhooks. That must cease. Why violence? Violence. Why? And I will always urge the people of Akwatia to resist that type of temptation, because political parties should not use that land for their theater, where they foment trouble, they create problems for them, and they run away to their various constituencies and leave them what? Suffering. No. We must move away from that. Having a high election security, we should go down on this. And that is when we are able to internalize the information that we need free and fair election that is devoid of what? Violence.
Indeed.
Rigging, irregularity.
Doc, stay with me. I'll come back to you to just make that point. Let me take you back now to Akwatia. My colleague Blexus Suga is on the grounds engaging some residents. Results are trickling in. Blessed, what can you report?
Ballot box ni acham yenu. Suna nawa. Tonto wa. NDC afa one. MPP afa one. Okwa Akwatia Roman. Yenya 200. Omwenya 60. Suna nawa. Adana enchire say your mama 24-hour economy no enya djuma. Ya pemputu o. Akwatia wa ikade betu Akwatia. Ene kade fani ntuma pefra. Yani Akwatia ye. Muti Akwatia no. Na mu fi say ye kura ye ni namdam oso. Eti ye besre. Asantrofo. Akwatia man. Ye nyina ye bo se ni ade asejo mama ani onyam ye damase.
Yeah, from Zachary Abdomomen, popular known as Otompo Yoyo, Assembly member from Kwantanai Ahimblonum electoral area.
How do you feel about that?
Oh, as for the distant election, there is very smoothly. How people, even this year, this place, when they have been voting like this, it do something. People have been even fighting here because of the police people. As for that fighting has been. So everything is cool here. This voting here, let's thank Almighty that things have been moving smoothly for the Akwatia people.
What do you want the new MP to do?
MP, the new MP there, we trust him because even he has not done the MP before, but he has been helping the people. So he's going to make and do something for the Akwatia people here.
Anything you want to share with the people of Akwatia?
Oh, nothing. Yes, we are just happy.
Your friend says the 24-hour economy will start from here.
Yeah, the 24-hour economy is because of this voting. Yeah, I'm sure we have been going to get the 24-hour economy here. Thank you very much for that.
Oh, everything cool. Oh, bibi akokama. Yede nyame say about to so the aban hu say akotiafo ye ha dwen kasa ne ntokwa koso ha no nyame adoma mane sa ye mane sa akotia kasa ye nya basabasa ye ya fa nya se lukane wa fa na waka ne bibi atwam no enya nda samo wa twam ye yitu ne ba no bi enya ni mpi ne oba tisi ade ye do bebe bia no ebeji na wa tu sanete ye ni mimi se ni mpi ni ndisi sanete to me in the mimi obia but the beba obebo Akwatia youth na ye ba no mpenefo no mko ba ye nkola na ye ba ne de se nyi oboafo a obetima boaye na Akwatia etumpon se wo hwe nkronkron mama mebebe a wo hwe amama mebebe a ane no mo ye wo a wo ti Akwatia din a ba bewu akokro ni mu a hwe ni Akwatia
so wo sino ekwan na ekwan ye correct but Akwatia show na so ye pe obi obetumi aye o man ni ye ma ye no na hwehwe o se ye
Akwatia ya ndwen se NDC MP omo modwen sa omo ho bet me de me ni area do be wi ni bia obetumi aboa Akwatia man no na ye hwehwe but dem ka was
there apparently excited about the outcome, but there's more jubilation happening here at the Akwatia Lorry Station, where at all the 2 polling centers we've had the NDC candidate emerge victorious. So let's try and get some more reactions for you. Let's try and get some more reactions for you, because you see people obviously happy about the outcome of the elections, and I'm sure that many more of them are talking. Let's listen to them.
Sabi, ya pasa MPP for ya bu wa to fi ya to fi amai mu ha. Yes. Ya pasa 2028 ebe ka mu sister pe our parliament. Yes. Sabi ebe ya. C for P. Ba ekwan dem. Yes. Who C for P? 2028 honorable Eseri Katia is coming. 2028 Eseri Katia is coming. Only as I say, I put on my family dem ye and your bam o so to no na mu ye o no ko. Ono na ya sha se no. Nti e buom. Nti e ya za wo hwa ha. Ya ye wa ha no. Ebi mi fi jomo. What again? Kaswa. Ebi fi awutu senya is. Ebi fi Kumase. Ye do Ghana ni aba ha no. Na ye na ya ba se ba be ye aboa. Eti ebi fi jomo no. Elibo ana ma ba. Hafa sini ana ma ba. Omu su fi Kaswa. Nti ye pesiti no. Ni nyina ye pesa kasi. For 2018 nti.
Me Kachi. Me pacho me fra wutu senya east. Ya de ya basa ya de ya tuma ba be bo lawyer ne ntuma mu. Na ya adwumaden ya ma lawyer fa ne ntuma pesra. Ya pese empuntuo ba Akwatia. Ya ma obi fa ne sempo ne ne kapre e ma mese ya Akwatia. Akwatia man so omu pempuntuo. Akwatia man so omu pese omu manu mu nya adwuma ya. Enti omu pese omu manu mu nya adwuma ya enti na omu to aba ma lawyer. Akwatia man se omu pese lawyer ba no ba ma omu adwuma ya. Omu pese oman ne be sai. Enu nti na ye fura wutu senya east. Ya de ntuma abebo ya NDC fo anu awo Akwatia say ya no omu ba ya adwumaden ama Akwatia man fa ne ntuma pefra. Enu nti ne ye ba ye ba se ya ba beboa ama lawyer fa ne ntuma pefra. Nyankopon sunti ama ya bra anya kwa Akwatia man akire se omu pempuntuo omu pese man ne sesentu omu kire se omu to aba ya de ama lawyer enu amu na ya ji ani no ya se ji ani because kunimudie na ba do mama bosha na o se Ghana fo no oba ba ye adwuma eni tumu hu ya eni ji ani nyina ye enkunim a ya ba beboa ama Akwatia ma ya wi revolution as a long way to go but I got to say revolution as a long way to go but I got to stay.
Well,
like we are this you from country.
So let's hear from more people. You can see that there's jubilation now in some parts of Akwatia. Obviously, they are happy at the outcome of the election. Blessed Sugan reporting for Joy News, Akwatia.
giving our audience live scenes from Akwatia, my colleague Blessed Suga, engaging some excited residents, pleased with the results after their polling station results were announced. Some provisional results trickling in. Let me run you through some of them. At New Wenchi Palace A, Solomon Ismedu for the NPP is leading with 192 votes. We have Bernard Bediako, 76, LPG 0, rejected ballots 4, total valid votes 271. Also from New Wenchi Palace B, the NPP leading again, 194, the NDC 774, I beg your pardon, LPG 0, rejected ballots 0. And then from Amankrado, New Wenchi, NPP 187 votes, the NDC 61 votes, rejected ballots 398. That's quite a number, 398 rejected ballots. Provisional results trickling in from Akwatia and from Amankrado New Wenchi B polling station. NPP 174, NDC 69, LPG 3 and rejected ballot 1. My colleague Isaac Kofi joins me in the studio, lead data analyst here at Joy News. Kofi, the numbers, we're beginning to crunch them here, and I know that you've received some provisional results already. What are the figures looking like?
In fact, what we have is provisional, and out of that 120 polling stations that we are tracking so far, we have 20 out of 120. So we have 100 polling stations more to go. Out of 20 polling stations that we have, the NPP candidate is currently leading with 52.65%. Total vote for the NPP candidate Solomon Asumedu is 3,241. 3,241 with 52.65%. The NDC's candidate is also coming second currently. Provisional data that we have, 20 out of 120. He has 2,910 votes. 2,910 votes with a share of 47.27%. 47.27%. And LPG's Patrick Owusu currently has 5 votes with a share of 0.08%. So for provisional data that we have shows that the NPP's candidate is currently leading. If you look at the 20 that we've been able to track so far out of the 120, leading with 52.65%. But it's still early days yet. And in fact, certain interesting polling stations have come in, like the New Wenchi and all of that. But we are waiting for the polling station with the highest number of registered voters. That's the New Wenchi Deba Ground, which has 704. But per what we are seeing, it looks like voter turnout is likely to be more than what we saw in Ablekuma North, where people are currently, they really turn out to come and to go out there and vote. But the provisional data we have is that the NPP candidate is currently leading with 52.65%. We've done 20 out of 120, so 100 polling stations more to go. Tony and Co are crunching the numbers at the background, and we will bring you every detail as and when we have it. Provisional data coming in shows that the NPP candidate is currently leading with 52.65%, NDC 47.27%. Early days yet, but that's what we have so far for C.
Thank you, Kofi. Now, you just heard it here first. Out of the 20 polling station results, provisional results we have received, the NPP is leading this election. But we have 100 more to go. Let me take you live to the grounds. My colleague Collins Frimpong joins us live from his polling station. Collins, what can you report? Collins, I can't seem to hear you. You'd have to position rightly and just give us updates from the polling station, where you are, what exactly is happening, results in already?
So the counting and everything is done here at the Deba ground in Akwatia, where the parliamentary candidate for the NDC hailed from. And this is the results, the official result that we've received, confirmed from the EC. Solomon Asumadu of the NPP had 107 votes. And also the NDC candidate Bernard Bediakon had 293 votes. And also the LPG candidates also had one, with 4 being rejected votes. So this is what has happened here. I don't know if you can see from my screen how excited the people in the community are. And everybody seems to be jubilating because that's what largely they were expecting within this particular community. That the candidate for the NDC hailed from, everybody was to win, and that's what has happened. Another result that came from our correspondent from the Chakra State, where the NPP candidate had 90 and that of the NDC had 230. So that polling station is part of the 10 polling stations within the Chakra State community. So right that we are done with the Deba ground at Chakra State, we are moving to the other polling stations ahead of us and also head towards the community day senior high school across Chakra State, where the NDC candidate Bernard Bediakon also voted. Firstly, this is what has been happening over here.
Thank you, Collins. And clearly, ballot by ballot, the picture is beginning to form. Kofi, you're still with me in the studio. We have more provisional results to share with our audience.
Yeah, we've moved from 20 now to 21, and it's getting interesting, where 21 out of 120, we have Solomon Asumadu still leading. Now he's gone up by 1 percentage point to 53.42%, having a total valid vote currently provisional at 3,461. NDC candidate, per what we have so far, has dropped to 3,000. He has 3,013 votes with a percent or a share of 46.5%. And in fact, if you go to the back end where Anthony and co are actually crunching these numbers, you will see that in the Wenchi areas, this is where the NPP is winning massively. And you take a place like Police Station, New Wenchi A, the NPP candidate gets 156, with the NDC candidate getting 79. So clearly big difference there. Another place like Police Station or Post Office, Apinaman, that the NPP get 261, NDC 83 in terms of the Police Station, New Wenchi B. And if you go to the Presby Church, Apinaman, that's what I meant to say, 81 for the NDC, 258 for the NPP. So clearly, what you see is that the NPP is currently leading, as you can see in our live, tracking, and that's live on your screens. The NPP leading right now with more than 53%. And what we are getting from the back end is that currently we've called more of the NPP strongholds in the Wenchi, and many possibly will say that, well, this could influence what we are seeing so far. But it's still early days yet, as we've done, 21 out of 120. Still have about 99 polling stations more to go. But the clear indication we are getting is that the NPP is sweeping heavy in their strongholds, especially in the Wenchi areas. And we are still monitoring. As and when new data or new figures drop, we will bring you up to speed.
Thank you so much, Kofi. And for our audience watching us across the country, the bit-by-bit results are beginning to find their way to the newsroom. And Kofi will be giving them that details as soon as we have them, because we know that just behind the scenes, our data team, they're crunching the numbers bit by bit. They're just putting together the data that is coming to us just to give our audience a feel of what we should expect. Doc, you've heard the results so far. It's early days yet. We still have some more polling stations to cover. But what's your first reaction to the data we have been able to put together?
Yeah, we are seeing the pattern is that in their strongholds, the two parties, you see them exerting the authority. It's clear. So you saw that before the Wenchi results came in, NDC was winning in Bwedua, in Akwatia, Dwinase, and the rest of them. They were getting high numbers.
Yeah.
But as they move into MPP strongholds, yeah, you can also understand the way they are also leading.
And the swing nature of that is
my concern
indeed.
is one of the constituents, I think, Wenchi areas where rejected ballot was 398.
Indeed.
That is
quite shocking.
Which is, so what you have now, if you look at it from, the rejected ballot is even higher than LPG results.
Indeed.
Yes, 398 rejected ballots.
Quite shocking that we received that data from our correspondent on the ground, and I'm just going through that data for you so that you get a feel
so that
of
we know
what we are experiencing from our data harvested from the ground, from Amankrado New Wenchi polling station A, NPP 187, the NDC 61, rejected ballot 398.
Yeah, Amankrado.
Quite shocking.
Very.
What went wrong, though?
I am shocked in the sense that if you look at Akwatia in general, literacy rate is a little high. It's fairly okay. So why is that?
How is this
possible? It tells you that there's a problem with what? Voter education. Free and fair election, one of its indices is what? Voter education. That the party actors should educate voters, and you educate them about what? Voting procedure and all that. Election management body, electoral commission, it is also part of their responsibility to educate. So education about voter education, how to thumbprint, and the rest of them becomes a problem. And that is why over the years, I have argued that in such places, is it not possible that we can even go with what? A certain ballot where you just a paper where the candidates are that, and then before them is perforated in a certain way that you don't need to, you just need a pen and then it runs through. So that, but if you ask people to thumbprint and carefully, it becomes a difficult thing. It will cross.
So we may have to consider that moving forward, just to help voters in that community. Well, we are still slicing and dicing the data here on the Draw News channel. Provisional results are trickling in, and our team behind the scenes are putting the numbers together for you, and you can see live numbers on your screen so you can follow the elections. Let's take you now back to Akwatia. My colleague Nana Boachi Yadom is on standby at Apinaman just to give us update as to what exactly has happened in that polling station. Nana, take us away.
Station where vote counting just concluded a while ago with the NPP's parliamentary candidate polling 182 votes and the NDC with 144 votes. LPG also 2 with 6 spoiled ballots. And for the Apinaman LA JHS School Park, the polling center over here, the NPP have won this particular polling center. The counting is still ongoing at various polling centers across the Akwatia constituency. Some people have already started jubilating, but the final deal will be happening at the Coalition Center. I have with me the Deputy General Secretary of the NPP, Haruna Mohammed. We've spoken to him a couple of times today, but then just after counting here at the Apinaman LA, we want to hear a word or two from him. You won this particular polling station. I don't know of other areas, but what do you have so far from your party's own internal coalition? Just 42 minutes after the close of polls.
For now, you saw that I was observing the counting at Apinaman LEGHS here, where we have won. I have 9 polling stations in my responsibility. I've witnessed that we have won here. My checks across all the other 8 shows that we have won them with a huge margins. Other places that we have contested with the NDC, we had 181 and they are wavering somewhere around 86 votes. I would confirm all these figures because they are just an inch away from me. One thing I want to put on record is that we have said that we will change the dynamics of poll in Ghana. And even before, 3-4 hours to the conclusion of the election, Musa Dankwa was forced to change his poll. He said that the MPP will be getting 51%. I have said it. I have said it that I have been in the academia, I've taught in the university, and I know how research is being done. Yes, he's a very good person, Musa Dankwa, but you see, variables are always different. When you test a variable today and test it tomorrow, you cannot get the same results, but you can get a similar results. That is why in scientific research, we say that it should be able to stand the test of time. So I said, because I was on the ground, he's from Akwatia, I said that the dynamics will change. We will change the dynamics. And I'm not surprised that he has put the poll to 51%. The NDC is happy because they have been able to inch from where they got from 2024. But certainly we are going to win. Parliamentary is not a percentage. Parliamentary is even just a stone throw. Even one vote, you win. We have 3 people who have won with 3 votes in Parliament. So I think the NDC was able to garner more than what they got, but eventually we have won. In the other subsequent areas, we'll give you the briefing on that. I'm very satisfied with what has happened.
I don't want you to leave me, but I want
to commend the police at this polling station. They have done very well, very professional. Matters that we brought to their attention, they attended to it. And I said on your station that we don't trust the police. The police should make us to trust them in Akwatia. And I can tell you that I will trust these police officers in this particular ground for them exhibiting level of professionalism.
Stay here and then let's listen to Nana Kwesi so that you can also respond equally. Nana, he said that for winning this particular polling station and you not losing at this area means that you're losing the election. Your candidate is not winning. How true is that? From your own internal coalition, just 45 minutes after the close of polls.
You know, we are going to win this election hands down. Example, this polling station, this is the first time that we won about 145 votes. When I was coming here, we had less than 60 votes. And we've appreciated more than 100%. And I know that the remaining polling stations, we can do that. And as he is saying, it's difference. 1 or 2 can make the difference. But I can assure my good brother that Akwatia is going to be green this time.
Okay, and then last words.
Akwatia has always been blue, and Akwatia will remain blue forever.
Thank you very much. That's the beauty of democracy here. That's just after the count of polls. We've had Haruna Mohammed, the Deputy General Secretary of the MPP, and then Nana Kwesi, the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the NDC, also sharing their own words after the counting here at the Apinaman JHS polling center, where the NPP have won. Counting is still ongoing at various polling centers, and as and when we get all the details and all the numbers, all the figures, we'll bring our listeners and our viewers up to speed details on that. But I have to run you through the figures again here at Apinaman JHS. The NDC had 144, NPP with 182, LPG with 2 and 6 spoiled ballots, and that's the result we have from Apinaman JHS School Park over here, where we just closed or finished with the counting, and others still ongoing across various polling centers. Over to you.
For bringing us updates all the way from that polling station Apinaman in Akwatia. Well, the data is on the grill and we're serving it hot here on the Joy News channel. We are your election headquarters. Doc, I still have you with me in the studio. Your reactions, some of the key details we've found so far. The NPP leading with the details we have so far from the few polling stations. And my colleague Kofi AJ is also joining me in the studio. Kofi, I'll come to you just to update the numbers, but let me just get the brief reaction of Dr. Asante. So far, your analysis.
Yeah, it is interesting to hear from Haruna. A few minutes ago, their party did not believe the police. Now they are seeing the direction of the voting is tilted in their favor. So now they believe in that double standard must cease in Ghanaian politics. The police is an institution. When we don't disturb them, they will work professionally. And at the end of the day, we will be victorious. So the way political parties bastardize them and create problems for them, I'm not comfortable. But as a growing democracy, we will learn as we move on.
And we'll learn as we move on. Kofi, indeed, the data ready to serve us hot? Tell us, what exactly do we know?
More provisional results coming in, and as of now, we have 23 polling station result provisional, and we have to emphasize that we have 23 provisional results, and the NPP candidate is currently leading. He's still leading, and he has added more weight to his share of the vote, 55.56% with 4,000. Has actually crossed the 4,000 zone with 4,078. The NDC candidate is still around 3,000. Actual is around 3,257 with a share of 44.37%. And in fact, out of the 23 that we have tracked so far, what we can tell you is that majority is coming from the Wenchi areas, right? And the NPP has been able to win 15 out of the 23 polling stations that we have, with the rest going to the NDC. And so this is what we have: NDC 7, NPP 15, with currently the NPP candidate Solomon Asumedu leading with 55.56%, crossing the 4,000 mark, 4,078. LPG also doing, well, 0.07%, and the NDC candidate is still within the 3,000 zone. So that is what we have so far. We are still working around the clock to get you more data, and we are hoping that very, very soon we will fill that 120 gap. Currently, we have 23 out of 120. We still have more to go, still early days yet, and we've seen more of the results coming from the Wenchi areas. We've not really had so much from other areas, but what we have shows that the NPP candidate is leading, and as you can see on your screens, in the graphics that we've done for you, leading with 55.56%. That's the situation currently. I know that when I go back to the back room again to speak to Anthony and Maxwell, they will furnish me with new data, and it will be interesting to see the direction that this election is going for.
And we're looking forward to how that will pan out, Kofi. So far, out of 120 polling stations, we've received results from 23 polling stations, provisional results, and ballot by ballot, we know now that the picture is beginning to form, Doc. Your analysis of what has taken place so far. We're just talking about the double standards of Haruna Mohammed, who is the Deputy General Secretary of the NPP. Moving forward, really, we can see from the outcome of today's election that the police have done an excellent job. And based on your analysis, political actors should be blamed for some of the chaotic scenes we've seen in elections moving forward. You still maintain that point?
We will forever blame them. Yes, because they are those people who are looking for power desperately. The ordinary man has voted and is in his farm, waiting for results to be announced. That's all. He has no business massing up people there. He has no business busing people to the place. Even what he has to depend on for his daily bread is a problem. So he has no business. But the political actors, and then they turn around. What gets me so angry is that the hypocrisy on the part of them, that when it favors them, it's fine, the system is okay. If it doesn't, the system is no, no, no. Politics, you have to proceed with integrity. Integrity is key. And then let people believe your word. And then we'll follow that. But as I said, it's a young democracy. We'll continue to learn. But I thought that there are examples. We have gone through a lot. So by now, we should be able to perfect some of these wrong areas and make sure that we create that enabling environment that will make the system work and work very well. But it is interesting. I wanted to know from Kofi, but he's not here.
Okay.
That if you look at the where the MPP is making headway.
Okay.
How many votes are there in all these places? Which area has the largest population? Okay. Because once you have a sense of that, and you've seen that the one party is cashing on that heavily, then it's telling you that we are getting to the end of the
So let me put your question directly to Kofi. Kofi is here. It gives us a platform to ask him some of the key concerns you've raised about the numbers that we have received so far. In what areas do we have the NPP leading? What are the numbers?
Well, in fact, several areas currently are turning blue in terms of the polling station.
Okay.
So the first polling station that we track is the Amankrado New Wenchi A. MPP won with 187, NDC 61. So you can see the difference. And you have Amankrado again, New Wenchi B. MPP winning in 174, NDC 69. Then you go to Funeral Grounds, Kusi, NPP 149, NDC 130. So that's where NDC comes close in terms of losing, but still closing the gap. You have the LAJHS, Apenaman, NPP winning at 182, NDC 144. Close again. And another one that gives you a very close contest is the OPRI Square, Kusi. NPP won with 50. NDC comes second with 45. So clearly, just about 5 votes, difference there. Another area that also turned blue is Police Station, New Wenchi A. MPP winning heavily with 156. NDC 79. Polling Station, New Wenchi again. Police Station, New Wenchi again. B. NPP winning with 261. NDC 83. And you go to the Presby Church, Apenaman. MPP won with 258. NDC trailing with 81. So definitely, if you look at the Wenchi areas where it's known to be NPP stronghold, they are winning with big margins. Another place that currently the MPP was able to get more than 300 votes is Presby Church, New Wenchi, 314, and NDC coming with 107. If you go to Presby Church again, New Wenchi, another polling station, in terms of Presby Primary School, Apenaman, MPP 206, NDC 81. So, Doc, clearly you can see 81 versus 206. Big margin.
Let me ask you, which of the areas has the largest number of registered voters?
In fact, if you look at the top 10, it is New Wenchi Deba Grounds, 704 registered voters. That has not come in yet. And the projection is that that is also another stronghold of the NPP. But we don't have provisional result for that. We are still tracking that as well. And so even with the top 10s in terms of the Wenchi areas, although you have some coming in, but the constituency with the highest number of, or the policies with the highest number of registered voters, which is the Deba Ground in Wenchi, hasn't come in yet, and we are keeping, tabs on that as well.
Yes, I am looking forward to that because when you get the top 10 and you see the pattern, it gives you a sense of what is happening.
Yeah.
And then we'll be able to tell the direction. But for now, it's still very interesting, and it's early days yet. So I look forward to seeing more interesting results, and then we can make...
In fact, I think we should also do the areas where the NDC is winning. So if you look at a place like Bus Terminal, Bodua, so the Bodua areas, if I'm not mentioning them right...
That is Bodua.
Bodua is where the NDC is winning. And I understand that Kojo Brace is And in fact, the NDC won Bodua Bus Terminal 323.
Since you're still at Bodua, let's take you live there. My colleague Samuel Kojo Brace is on the ground, and my director tells me he's ready to just give us live scenes from that polling station. Quite a number of residents out there jubilating. Why exactly? Samuel, take us away.
What we are doing now is that we are at the back of our pickup trying to give you what exactly is happening in Akwatia. Look, the two parties both claiming they've won. The MPP is jubilating, the NDC is jubilating. We are moving from Bodua to Akwatia, but it is thick traffic here because both sides of the aisle say we've won. You can see the MPP people jubilating. The NDC is also jubilating. I'll let the camera pan around for you to see what's happening up there. Look, there you have it. These are some NDC people who say they've won because they are two. They say they've won. Up there, the MPP folks are also saying we've won. So you can't tell who's winning now until we get to the coalition center. But what we can tell you is it is a clash of jubilation. The MPP is jubilating. The NDC is also massively jubilating. Let's pan the camera around for you to see what's happening here. See, gridlock, totally on the Akwatia Road. You can go, you can come, because both sides are jubilating massively, you know, saying that they've won. When we don't know, the EC has not declared anybody as winners, but the MPP say they've won. The NDC too say they've won. So so these are gentlemen saying Akwatia is sweet. An NDC person hoisting the party's flag coming from the other end, saying that they've won. I mean, it's incredible. It's an incredible atmosphere here in Akwatia. An incredible atmosphere. And look, the gridlock is tight. It's a tight one. We are struggling to even move from Bwedua to Akwatia, such a short distance, but everybody is claiming I've won. And because of the jubilation, everyone is on the street and you don't know what to do. The ladies behind us are doing too short. Some ladies and men up there are jamming to tunes from the MPP. A short while ago, the NDC car came through, or came by, and it was all NDC affair. You don't know what's happening, but this place, Akwatia, is just a place to be now. No confrontation, no clashes, pure excitement, pure jubilation, pure happiness from both sides, because both sides is claiming or are claiming that they've won this election. For see, you have to be here. You don't need to be in the studio. You have to be in Akwatia today. Akwatia is known for, clashes between both parties, but today they've delivered a very peaceful election. I mean, we can say peaceful because till now we've not had any major incident. So very peaceful and very jubilant. Akwatia is in a jubilant mood this evening. And all of you have to leave Accra to be in Akwatia to really feel what it is to be in such an election. I mean, we don't know who's winning. NDC and MPP are both claiming victories. The EC will tell us who is winning. In the next hour or two, we'll really get to know that picture, to know who the real winners are. So guys, you can still be watching how sweet Akwatia is this evening. I'm sure you'll be missing. You'll be wishing that you were here in Akwatia, because we are not fighting, we are rather jubilating. Both parties are jubilating, and it's a good sign. It tells you that democracy is growing, is maturing, and Akwatia has today delivered a peaceful by-election, and we know it will be so to the very end. The police must be commended. Here you see a bunch of them. Well done. You've done really well today. I mean, they are not slowing down yet. They are still in to see it to the very end. The police is everywhere, whether on a motorbike, at the trunk of a pickup, or in their car. I mean, it tells you how committed the police is to this particular process. So guys, you might want to continue your analysis, but keep a part of your screen for us in Akwatia, because tonight is all jubilation here.
Samuel Kojo Brace, I can't wait to come to Akwatia, probably after the elections are over, and I am sure of my safety. But then so far, results are still trickling in, provisional results, and for most of our colleagues on the ground, they will be giving us the data as at when they receive it. Kofi AJ, you were just talking about Bodria before we went to Samuel Kojo Brace. Tell me about the dynamics in that polling station and why that is high stakes. I mean,
I'm not surprised that the NDC folks in Bodua are jubilating, because if you look at the data that we have seen, the provisional results, it shows that the NDC has won in all the polling stations in Bodia. So the celebration is relative or subject to where you find yourself or the polling station you find yourself. If you find yourself, I'm sure if they bring visuals from Wenchi, you see a lot of blue belt, voters also jubilating. But if you find yourself in Bodia, definitely it's because the NDC is winning heavily in this area. So for instance, the bus stop terminal in Bodia where you saw that shot, the NDC won with 323 votes, MPP 101. So the difference was very, very wide, more than 200 votes for the NDC. And in fact, I would say that it is the Bodia polling station that is still keeping the NDC in this race. As far as the 2023 polling station result that we've had is concerned. Deba Grounds in Takrase, NDC has won in that area 293, MPP 107. Big difference for the NDC there as well. If you go to another lorry station in Akwatia, NDC won with 333, MPP trailing there with 83 votes. NDC wins again in the main lorry station in Bodia, 282, NPP 127. So if you're seeing people jubilating in Bodia, it means that what the data is telling you is that the story behind that data is that almost all, in fact, all the polling stations in and around Bodia, the NDC has actually won in these areas. And if you go to Akwatia itself, inside Akwatia, where mostly is urban, you see the NDC also winning there as well. NDC is also winning in the Kusi areas, right? In the Kusi areas, NDC is winning there also. For instance, but in those areas, the margin is very, very close. So far for seat 23 out of 120. We still have more polling stations to go. But it is clear that both political parties are winning in their strongholds. And it looks like the turnouts we are seeing for Akwatia will be better or higher if you compare it to Ablekuma North. People have really come out to vote, and both political parties are cementing their strength in their strongholds. MPP winning in the Wenchi areas, NDC also winning in Akwatia itself and the Bodia areas, and then also in the Kusi areas you have NDC winning there as well. We have a long way to go, and if any data drops, we will bring you the updates. Indeed, we'll bring you the updates. So far, 23 polling stations. We have the results projected for you. We're still waiting for the rest because we have 120 polling stations in Akwatia. And bit by bit, the results are finding their way to the newsroom. Our team is on standby, crunching the numbers to ensure that we bring you certified figures from Akwatia. Doc, you're still with me in the studio, and we're just hearing from Kofi. Give us a breakdown of some of the things we should expect. So far, the NPP is leading these elections after we have collated results from 23 polling stations. And on your screens, we can see live visuals from Akwatia just showing us what the euphoria is like on the ground. Quite excited residents, even though they're not aware of the final results. Doc, your opinion?
I am not comfortable with this.
Okay.
Because we have seen it before. That once people jubilate like this, and at the end of the day, the results do not go their favor, it becomes a different thing.
Okay.
And we saw in the era of Jik Obechi-Bilamte, you recall, one of the elections, they organized a press conference declaring themselves winners. That's what is panning out. And I don't want to know this. They should wait for electoral. Look at your station. You are calling the numbers. You said provisional results.
Yeah.
All right. So that everybody, whatever you have, just keep it to your chest. And then we wait for electoral commission to declare one winner or the other. If this thing continues and it's not checked, and when they release the results and people get disappointed, it becomes a different thing. So yes, much as I believe that it has been peaceful, they should hold on, and then we'll finish counting, and then results are declared by electoral commission, then the jubilation can start. But even there, the jubilation, they must be what? Measured and what? Tempered. So that you don't, incur the wrath of people unnecessarily. Election, yes, go to your room and celebrate and you move on. But it's early days yet because you are talking about a constituency that has about 52,000 people and you have seen only 4,000 results and all that. We have a lot to go. A lot to go. If the figure I have here is anything to go by, 52,000 registered voters. And we are talking about what? 4,000, if you put even all together, you are in the region of about 10,000, 11,000. We have a lot to go.
A lot to go, and we're on the ground to ensure we bring you that when it happens.
Politics, having said this, I can also say that if we make it interesting, you realize that there's no point fighting one another. It's just joy, joy, joy. And that is why we're saying that when you lose, you accept defeat and abide by the rules of the game. And you congratulate the winner and you tell yourself, I'm going to work hard and next time I'll change the status quo.
But I'm hoping to see more police presence on the ground because we can see a lot of excitement from some of the residents who have engaged. But what happens when the final result is declared, your candidate loses the seat? That's when we need security presence on the ground. And our newsroom, we have our eyes glued to the ground, ensuring that we'll bring you detailed coverage. We are sorting the signal from the noise in real time. And Kofi AJ, you're back with me in the studio. We have updates on our numbers.
Yes, in fact, we've been trying to use percentages to actually understand the numbers we are getting so far. So far, we've done about 20% of the polling stations so far. So we have about 80% more to go. So that's a clear indication for you to understand how far we have come. And Doc was talking about registered voters. We're expecting, or the total registered voters are around somewhere more than 52,000. And per the last election, which had, a turnout rate of about 70%, we were expecting a little over 36,000 people to go out there and vote. So far, what we have done is less than 10,000. So it means that we expect more votes or more of the results to come in. And in fact, what we also know is that out of that 23 polling station result that we have in terms of the provisional result, the NPP is leading, has been able to win about 16 out of the 23, with the NDC also coming in there. And so that is what we have so far. Just about 20% of all the polling stations that we are looking for. We have about 80%. We are still in the minority zone in terms of how far we have gone in terms of the tabulation. We are still getting more results, verifying them, getting the pink sheet, entering them into our database, and Maxwell and Anthony are there doing that for us. And just like I said, if any figure drop, we will bring you that data, not just bringing you, but we'll tell you the story behind those, that data. And Doc is also here to help us put this in proper, context, Fosti.
Yes, indeed. Doc, let's help our audience put some of the numbers we're receiving in proper context. We're seeing results from Bodria as well as other constituencies, seeing the voter pattern, looking at both the NDC and the NPP going jaw to jaw, though the NPP is currently leading based on the data we've received. What are your predictions? Is it early days yet?
Early days yet, but I am happy that we are seeing the strength of the two political parties. Yes, in their strongholds. Now we want to see
the swings,
where the real toss-up is, and see how they will fare. But let me touch on issue of voter turnout. From the literature, it gives you an idea that the better the voter turnout results, the better the outcome. People will now go in their numbers to vote and all that. When it started in the morning, I did say that yes, even though it appears to be slow, but people are just watching. When they see that the atmosphere is calm and all that, they will come back and then come and vote. And we have seen that. They came in their numbers and they are voting and all that. So I always have a feeling that, look, if we continue voter education that will tell people that, look, forget about conflict, forget about violence and all that, and we drum home the necessary ingredients of voting, people become excited and they will enjoy the process. So you will not have any event, right? And that is what we are seeing. But it also tells me that the voting dynamics is also interesting. Very, very, very interesting in the sense that
what are you picking?
It gives you an idea that even though that is a strong Akan area, once you are seeing dynamics like this, it confirms our thoughts or the studies that we know that ethnicity do not win you any vote. Mm. You see how NDC is fighting the battle there, and you see the results. You are talking about a population where you have accounts about 60-something%. So all things being equal, you would have thought that, look, a party which has predominantly one ethnic group in that area will carry the day. Mm. But you are seeing, it confirms the Musa Dankwa's their work to some extent, that people are not looking at the issues that before the election people were talking about sympathy and all that. Where is sympathy? Yes, we have lost the MP. Very painful. But people have put that aside and they are voting for development.
Will the outcome of the elections in Akwatia influence the NPP to want to change their stance about contesting Tamale Central? That's a conversation we'll have after we come back to the studio. But then let me take you now to the grounds and speak to Rashid Tanko Computer. He's Deputy Director of Elections and IT for the NDC. We appreciate your time here on the Joy News channel. You're on the ground. So far, results are trickling in. I'm sure your polling agents have been briefing you. What are the numbers looking like? Are you leading?
I am currently at the collation center. We are doing the collation. We have done our internal collation. We have done 111 polling stations out of the 119.
111?
111.
Certified with your pink sheets?
Certified with our pink sheets.
Okay. And I'll be glad if you could share some of them with us so that we can update ours.
To break the news to you people first.
Okay.
5,035 in the 2027.
Rashid Tanko Computer, you may have to position rightly. I seem to be losing you. You just gave us updates that you have so far received 111 numbers from your polling station and from your polling station agents out of the 120. I just want you to brief me. 119. Okay. So it means you are just one down. Is that the case?
Yes, it's 111 we have received, and the total polling station is 119.
Okay, the polling station is 119, and you've received 111, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So I just wanted to find out, based on the data you've collected so far, are you still confident that the NPP is leading in Akwatia?
The NDC is leading with 17,035 votes. The NPP has 14,077. So that represents 54.46 for NDC, whilst they are turning 45.00. So we're expecting the 8 more from our polling agents, and then we queue it in, and it's done. So as we speak now, the place is green for NDC.
Well, those are your results and not the official results from the Electoral Commission. As your election headquarters, it's our duty to sift through the numbers that are coming in and give you certified numbers. So far, we have received provisional results out of the 120 polling stations we are aware. We know that we have received 23, and we will be updating the numbers as soon as we have them. But then we've seen some residents on the ground already jubilating, especially in areas where the NPP won in that specific polling station, that they have indeed won the seat. How do you respond to this as a political party?
We have won the election peacefully. I indicated we're going to win, and we have won it massively. Currently, we are at the collation center, and we are going to the official collation from the east. And nothing is going to change from what I've indicated to you. No, even their leadership have run away from the coalition. They hadn't run away. But it tells that then West and we have won the election.
Rashid, I lost you when you were just making that point. You're still optimistic that you have won that seat. But based on voter turnout, what are your readings into what has played out today?
Well, they know it's a by-elections. I mean, and they shouldn't expect huge numbers from by-elections. I mean, it's a finally. Anytime you have a by-election, don't expect the turnout to be like the general election. We are satisfied with the turnout today. They are okay with it. And then they have delivered a verdict for the NDC. We are satisfied. And we will sound a good clip. We wait for the official announcement. We'll see that it will not be different from what we are telling you. We are just waiting for the 8th. I think it's working on our own system, and we'll update with the 8th, and we update. Don't wait for the 8th now.
And then just before I let you go, you have been criticized by the opposition MPP for trying last-minute campaigns, trying to erect some, building projects, road projects in the constituency. That was your grand scheme from the start, wasn't it, to lure voters to your end?
Yes, that's the business acquisition and should be ignored. I mean, completely. It doesn't make sense. Well, for the past week, you've been interviewing me, your station, and I've made it very clear. We are not like them. We would go to buy with projects and all. I think we are on it. They have the try, and we talk to them, and they know that we can deliver. And of course, we told them. I mean, we made this in 2024. Allow the people to rate the election. I said it, and I've been saying the time again. Today, because they didn't have the luxury to rate, see how they have been beating us out. I mean, so it's not about we bringing projects and all that. That is neither here nor there.
Okay, Rashid Tanko Computer, we appreciate your time here on the Joy News channel. We'll be back at you once the official results are declared by the Electoral Commission to get your official response and also to validate or dispute the figures you have put out today. We'll also reach out to the NPP to get their thoughts. They are also in their collation center as we speak, collating their results. Doc, we're seeing this. Them, so. Okay. You wanted to make a point? Okay. Then that's it. Doc, we're seeing this play out. Numbers already flying around, and it's our duty to sift through the numbers and ensure our audience gets accurate figures from the Electoral Commission. So far on your screens, you can see the provisional results we are putting out as the Joy News channel. Results that are certified that we can actually bank our hopes on. Though they're provisional results, you must know that we're putting out. And that's what we're running with right now. It's early days yet, Doc. Only 23 polling stations, but a political party says that out of the numbers they have received, they're leading. And I'm sure their counterparts will tell us the same. When we hear both political sides, even before the EC officially declares, tell us they are leading, how will this influence voters on the ground? And especially in times like this where we know that Akwatia is actually a hotspot.
We call this thing in political science as one of the techniques political parties use. But listen, propaganda. Propaganda.
Is it really?
Yeah, one of the techniques is what we call cast taking. The cast taking is where there is obvious truth. You downplay it. And then you project what you feel is okay. He's telling you that they've won 119. All right. So you are already in disarray if you belong to the NDC camp, MPP camp. All right. Yes. Then that is the cast taking. They will not tell you the truth. If you come to the bandwagon, you saw before the election, you saw massive people walking and, showing MPP colors and all those things. They are telling you that the right-thinking people are here. Why are you standing there alone? Join us. The bandwagon you see on screens and then massive public walk and all that.
But how effective is that really at this point where the ballots have already cast?
Yes, for now, it has very little effect. But before that time, but even this one, as he's calling, supporters are going to glue to what? This 119. If it doesn't show up, hey, our people told us that this is what we're going to get. That is why we are saying that just wait. So Electoral Commission declares this. Because once you send this one, you poison the minds of people already. That you, especially your faithful, telling them that we have gained what? 119. We are just looking for what? One, and we are good to go. And even that one, we have already won. So in event that the
So
results...
he said that out of 119, they have won in 111 polling station based on the data they have received so far. But we are bringing you certified and provisional results based on what we know, and that's why we are your election headquarters. We go according to the pink sheets and not according to hearsay. Kofi, you're back with me in the studio. Updates to the numbers.
In fact, let me clarify why people have 120. There is a special voting center that usually people don't add it. But if you look at the EC's official ballot statistics that they issued for the 2024 election, you have 120 polling stations plus that special voting center in Akwatia, and that is what we are using to enter our data. And we have latest, data coming in where we've moved from 23 now, we are at 29. So we added 6 more polling stations, verified and checked, still provisional anyway, 29 out of 120, so we are nearing 30. And in fact, with the 29 out of 30, the NPP's candidate has actually dropped in the share of votes, moving from the 55 now to 54.43%. Total votes currently is 4,855 with a share of 54.43%. NDC's candidate has crossed the 4,000 zone, now around 4,059 with a share of 45.51%. So this is what we have. And in fact, if you go to the back end, you will see that the Takrasi areas are being won by NDC. So Takrasi Deba Grounds won by NDC with 293 votes, MPP 107. Again, Takrasi Funeral Grounds, NDC wins it with 94 votes, NPP 63. God's Grace Academy, Kusi, another Kusi area, NDC winning at 124, MPP 60. And there's another LAJHS, Kusi, NDC 162, NPP 124. So NDC is winning in the Kusi areas, the Takrasi areas, and the Budua areas. MPP sweeping almost all the votes in the polling stations in the Wenchi areas, and in the polling stations that are in Akwatia, it's more or less like a battleground. But NDC is winning most of the polling stations, also in the Akwatia, inside Akwatia, But what we have is that out of that 29 polling station result that we have, MPP is currently leading with 54.43%, NDC 45.15%. We still have a long way to go.
Indeed, a long way to go. And I'll come back to you, Kofi, as we look at the swing areas in that constituency and what the results are telling us currently as we speak. But let me take you live to the grounds. My colleague Samuel Kojo-Brace is at another polling station. Samuel, what can you report?
Yes.
Of the Akwatia by-election, and my colleague Samuel Kojo-Brace is on the ground just to give us a sense of what we should expect. My colleague Kofi AJ in the studio giving us the numbers and how things are panning out. We're actually doing all that here in the studio. I also have with me Dr. Sar Santi, political scientist, just to give us the political dynamics of all this. Why is Akwatia such a big deal for both the NDC and the MP? That's a conversation we've been having. And we will be delving into the swing areas, Kofi, based on the data we have. Those polling stations that ordinarily would have swayed towards the NDC or the NPP, have they maintained their voting pattern? Has something changed? That's a conversation we'll come back in the studio to have. But I'm hoping to have clear connection now to Samuel Kojo-Brace, who's on the ground to give us update from a polling station at Akwatia. Once I have him, I'll take you there live. But let me come back to you, Kofi. Just looking at the numbers, what are they telling you?
If you look at what we have so far, out of that 29 polling stations that we've been able to check, you are not really seeing the results from the swing polling stations coming in yet.
Okay.
But what we have is, results from the polling stations that are either blue or green belt. And what I said is that both political parties are doing well by winning in their strong, holds. NDC doing well by winning in the Kusi areas, the Takrasi, and then also in the Bodua areas, and the NPP winning also heavily in the Wenchi areas. But we are not really getting results from the swing polling station. They will be coming in very, very soon, and that possibly could change the dynamics or the pattern that we are seeing so far. Another interesting area that many have said that, well, the NPP is likely to win is the Tapraman, polling station. We've not had results from those polling stations so far with expected voters more than 500. We are yet to receive, those, numbers. But what we know is that the NPP's candidate, who climbed to more than 55%, has now dropped to 54%, 54.43% out of the 29 polling stations that we have so far. NDC, 45.51%. And just like we all agree, we still have a very long way to go.
A long way to go, and we would be with you throughout that journey, just bringing you updates as to what exactly is happening in Akwatia and what the electorates are saying. And we're sifting through the numbers just to give you the provisional results so that you have a sense of what exactly you should expect. Now, Doc, you're just telling me some of the political strategies that some of the political parties will deploy. Like, for example, the propaganda effect you're telling me about and how this is playing out. Already both sides says we have won this year.
Yes. What they are playing, the technique they are using, I've told you that for any election, 3 things are important. Your strategy, your message, and then your resources. What I call RSM, resources, strategy, and message. The resource, you need both human and material. And that is why you saw a whole lot of party machinery move there to just go and augment what is there. Yes, the resource. And of course, what we call a night before the election. They share all the money that they can marshal and then share them in the night and all that. Yes. What's the strategy? The strategy is that, look, go there and tell them that, look, you are in government, you promise them development, and that, yes, even though MP, you can assess your common fund, which is 5% of what goes into what? The local area, the assembly, that they give you 5% of that. And so you are not going to have much. But the real development is in the hands of what? The government. Roads and all those things are heavy projects that the 5% common fund cannot support. So go there with a campaign that, look, my party is in office, and that we have a lot of resources. We can give you more if you give us the votes. And remember, everybody wants vote, in infrastructure development. So it's one of the things that is panning out. Then the NPP is saying that let us continue from where the late MP left off, so that we can also honor him and all that.
Sympathy votes.
Sympathy.
Will it work?
But you and I know that people will tell you from sociological perspectives, they will tell you as effect, as you say without fear of contradiction, it doesn't win vote. Because when I need a place to sell my wares and all that, and somebody promised me that, and there is the possibility that he can deliver, and you come back to tell me that let's vote based on sympathy. I'm not interested in that.
I'll come back to you just to get your assessment of the Electoral Commission's management of the process so far. Let me take you to the grounds. My colleague Samuel Kojo-Brace is finally ready for me. Samuel, where are you and what can you report?
So I'm currently at the Coalition Center for the constituency. This is where the results are being collated and the final result will be declared by the Electoral Commission. I've seen representatives of both parties here. They are seated. The Electoral Commission has already started collating the results from polling stations, and we will get to know what is happening later on in the day when they announce the official winner of the elections. I told you earlier that on the street both parties were claiming to have won this election. Fortunately, I've been joined here by the Deputy Director of Elections and IT for the NDC, Rashid Tanko Computer. Rashid, I'm grateful to you for joining us here. Give me your overall impression of the elections today.
Well, I said it this afternoon, we are going to have a very peaceful election. And thank God we had a very beautiful, peaceful election. We have to thank the IGP and his group for delivering these peaceful elections. They did a good job. We pledge our support for them. And we had confidence that they were going to do a good job. And they did a good job. It ended peacefully. No incidents in any of the polling stations. All the small pockets that never happened in the polling stations. Clearly, that tells you that the police were up to task. And I indicated that we are going to win this election. I said it severally. There's no way NPP is going to win this election. And clearly, the figures we have, our old internal collation that we have done, we are finished. We are just waiting for the EC to put theirs together and declare we have won the election.
So I can see from your dashboard, this is your dashboard, right?
This is our dashboard.
The NDC has some 17,495.
Yes.
The MPP has 14,345.
Yes.
And this is 114 out of 120.
Yes. That's 190 because the one other is a special polling station, so it's not added. So today we are dealing with 119. So as we speak now, I now have 116. So it means I'm left with only 3 polling stations to conclude my coalition. We have finished. And this is what we call activating body cameras. Our boss gave this into us, and it's working. So as we speak now, out of the 119 polling stations, we have collated 116 polling stations, and we now have 17,789, whilst they have 14,696. 54 plus. I told you, Issa Dankwa 53 will go ahead. They thought we were joking, and you have seen it. We have won the election beautifully. The work has shown.
So
it's a victory for democracy.
Really? If you say, but why if the MPP had won, would it have been
where are they going to win?
Not amount to victory for
No,
democracy?
where were they going to win?
You say victory for democracy?
Yes, because the victory that I'm talking of is an indication of the performance of the government of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama for the 8 months he has been in office. This is a victory, and they have given an indication that, look, this is a government we really voted for in 2024, and therefore we will not turn our back against it. And time and again, I said it, the MPP has been rigging. They rigged this constituency in 2024. Today it has shown.
But just because you're winning, you're saying they rigged it. Because both of you had, before now, you had won it 4 apiece from 96.
In 2024, we went to court because we felt that we were being cheated. We were pursuing the matter in court when he died. So they had not even assessed our evidence when he died. His death made the case moot. We believe we had won the election in 2024. And today the results have shown. Look at the difference.
You promised the people of Akwatia to vote for you,
yes.
So you would deliver to them development because you are in power.
Yes.
So from tomorrow, they are expecting, if indeed this is validated by the EC, because this is your own results.
They gave us pink sheets. We have not manufactured. We are not manufactured like
EC to come out with the official result. If it happens that they validate this result,
yes.
From tomorrow they are expecting you to deliver this development.
Oh no problem. We have even started working with them in the constituency. I mean, our candidate is somebody known in the constituency. They know him. He's been working in the constituency as a youth employment coordinator. He's been working as a lawyer, pro bono for them. A lot of activities they've been doing in that constituency. So they know him. And the government of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, he himself promised that he is going to deliver and make sure that he resets the country. The reset agenda is on course. And the people are seeing it. I told you, they were living testimonies to whatever we're doing.
I spoke to some people earlier, and they were alleging massive vote buying. They said they received some 300, 200. Some people were telling me, oh, we've eaten it, we've squandered it, we're done, we won't vote for them. Situate this in your claim that this is a win for democracy. When people allege massive vote buying.
You were here throughout, since morning up to this evening. You tore around almost all the polling stations. I saw you, I was monitoring your process. Did you see anybody being given money to come and vote?
You see, these are the allegations MPP will always do. Every day they will go and be making wild allegations. And the media too, you should put them on strict proof.
You pay TNT anyway.
Where to who? Where do you have the money? Where? We are not noted for that. That is not part of the NDC. We are not noted for paying or giving people money. No, it's not part. If we were to pay, do you think we would have won the 2024 election? They had tons of money. Some were keeping money in their room, their bedroom, as banks and all that. You saw it. And so we didn't have that. But Ghanaians saw the wisdom in voting for the NDC. And they voted for us. So why will we, 8 months down the lane, then we'll now be using money to woo the people to come and vote? It doesn't make sense. Clearly, the people have confidence in us. They believe that we can deliver, our candidate can deliver. And yes, they've delivered the verdict. We are happy. We are just waiting for the official declaration. I know my opponent. Do you think if this results was to be contested, you would have seen them here? They've all run away.
But I'm told Gary is here.
Gary, wait. Gary will not come here. I say if he doesn't come, I'll sign for them. I will sign for him. He's my friend. If he doesn't come here, I will sign for them. Because I told him this morning I was going to beat him, and I beat him. He has the results. He has the same pink sheet they gave us. They gave them. And the original is here. And so we put ours together. They should also put theirs together. So they've seen the results. That's why they've run away.
They've also put their pink sheet here.
They have. I'm with them. So they know they have lost. My colleague and friend, Befi, was here. I told him the next by-election is coming to his area.
It's coming to his area where?
Didn't you hear him?
Oh, Befi. But why are you alleging that there will be by-election in his area? That's a threat.
He told the whole world that if MPP loses these elections, he will resign his position as an MP because he doesn't see why MPP should lose. MPP is not going to lose.
That's a political talk, really.
He said it. It's captured. It's all over the place. So when he came here, I shook hands and I told him, my brother, the next by-election is in your area. We are coming there. I did. Politicians, the circumstances when you are speaking.
All right.
Yes.
Rashid, I'm grateful to you.
I'm grateful. So wait for the.
But what's the voter turnout according to your
we are now calculating that one unless I go to the main. We now have 170.
Okay. And you're still winning. Thank you very much. Yeah, congrats to you. So that Tanko Rashid computer there, he says that per their system, they are winning. I mean, they've collated some 117 constituencies out of the 119, and they're leading by over 54%. As against the NPP's over 44%. So quite an interesting day here. We're still here in the Constituency Coalition Center in Akwatia, where the EC will be declaring the official winner of this. They are collating the results as it stands, and you can clearly tell. I mean, what that they are eager to get this done quickly. I mean, you also see that. The NDC says that on their system they are winning this election, or they've won it. I mean, according to Rashid Tanko computer, that they've collated 117 out of the 119 polling stations. So I mean, we're just here waiting for the EC to complete the coalition, and then we'll get to know who is winning. So firstly, I mean. From us here at the Coalition Center in Akwatia, this is what we can report to you. The EC is vigorously collating the results as they trickle in to then help them declare who has won officially this particular election. The NDC, according to their system, they are winning.
I just wanted to find out from you.
Validate that or invalidate that particular claim by the NDC.
Kojo, can you hear me? I wanted to find out from you. We're receiving reports that the NPP is not at the Coalition Center. Can you confirm that for me? Is that the case?
If you saw me turning around, I was scanning the room to see if I would see any notable face of the NPP here. I have not been able to see any notable MPP person here to tell that they are here witnessing the process. I haven't seen one. So maybe it could be true. It could also not to be true. Maybe they have only just gotten outside of the room. But for now, at this particular moment, I'm not able to see any notable face of the MPP monitoring the process here. Fosti.
Okay, thank you, Kojo. And I'll be back at you once official declaration commences in that constituency. Earlier, just outside the NDC Collation Center, there was Jubilation. We'll bring you those live visuals shortly. And I'll come to the studio. Doc, I'm hearing activate body cams being said by Rashid Tanko Computer. And because you're a political scientist, you're aware of dog whistling politics, where they're using coded languages at this point in time. What is that telling you, really?
It's part of the technique, just to make sure that you are always ahead of your opponent. You have something that he doesn't have, and for which reason you are going to benefit from that immensely. These are all type of the techniques that they use, just to make sure that, look, they get into, if they get opportunity, get into your armory, and then get all the information that they want, so as to what, manipulate and then make sense out of this. And I was telling you before this, I was telling you about propaganda, where, you use biased information to mislead people and all that. You heard Computer speaking. It was all speaking positive about their party, making MPP look as if, look, they've not done anything good there. The cat's taking that. Yes, you manipulate the information, making sure that you keep the good ones to your chest. It's like playing cards. The good ones you keep here, and you throw out the bad ones on the table. Oh, see this one. But here, nobody has access to that. It's you alone. That one, it works pre-election and even post-election. The pre-election, it can convince a number of people to want to follow you because you are talking about good things about yourself. But the post-election, all right, you will see that the skirmish, the campaign, as they were, jubilating on the street, one of it is to prepare their minds, their followers. That look, we have won.
Isn't this all part of agenda setting, framing the story?
Yeah, you frame, but it's also preparing the people. Yes, and agenda sorting dovetails into that. That look, we have won. Don't listen to any results. A commission, for instance, these are our results and all that. I will not be surprised. MPP will come out very soon with also their figures. But we are saying that all these things have its strengths and weaknesses. One of the weaknesses is that it, poisons the minds of people against what Electoral Commission will bring out. But that shouldn't be the case, right? You have to wait for Electoral Commission to come and then, declare the election. You saw that he was speaking with authority, that we have this, we have won it. And look at your station, you are saying that this is provisional. Because the final authority who will stamp this thing on the results is the Electoral Commission. Is that what we are getting now from him? So
not the case. But that brings me to the question I wanted to ask you just before we went to Akwatia. What's your assessment of the Electoral Commission's performance so far?
If you look at the Electoral Commission, it's an election management body, and it's tasked with the responsibility of doing a number of things. One of the things that it does is to organize elections from time to time. And our Constitution has empowered the Electoral Commission to do that in case of what? By-election, national election, referendum, and the rest of them. And we are seeing that. For election of this nature, there are 3 stages which I've talked to you about. The pre-election phase, the election phase, and post-election. The pre-election phase, what is the Electoral Commission doing? It's supposed to register people if people need to be registered. It's supposed to also give education, that's voter education. That's where we are going to vote. We are going to use this material and this, that gives you all manner of education. Then they move on to what? Provide you with the logistics and training and all that. So they train their staff and then also what? Get the logistics that you would need for the election.
Okay.
Then on the day of election, they make sure that they go and carry out the activities. They are the people on the ground who will, usher the people into the polling station. This, they come, they thumbprint and this and that, they vote. to see to that process.
Doc, stay with me. I'll let you finish that process for me. Let me just bring you live scenes from Akwatia, the NDC Coalition Center. Just moments ago, there was jubilation there. Let's play that visuals for you. Live scenes there from the NDC Coalition Center in Akwatia. Jubilation already, but is that the way to go? Let me just throw one more question to you, Doc, before I let you go. The outcome of these elections is crucial. How will it affect the political temperature heading into the 2028 general election?
For by-elections, you need as a political party to make a statement that you are on the ground. That is one. And I told you that it's a test of two things. For the NPP, it's a test of their resilience in the constituency. For NDC, it is a test of their declining goodwill. That in spite of all the goodwill you have, you couldn't wrestle this seat from the NPP. Are you still having the goodwill? It gives the NPP, if that is going to be the score, it will give the NPP a boost, saying that, look, all is not well. Look at all their strength. Just one constituency, we're able to beat them up to it. It gives them a certain energy to be able to fight and fight on. Above all, if it goes in the way of the NDC, what you are going to see is that they are going to get what? In addition to Tamale Central, 184. It gives you an idea that now they have what it takes, minus even independent candidates. They can take important decisions in Parliament, including what? Amending entrenched provisions in the Constitution and other taking important decisions without any other party in there. So they tell you that, look, they have what? Their hand on the situation. And that, look, once you have that type of majority in Parliament, it gives you opportunity to be able to rule and rule effectively. And remember, they do all these things to build a record so that in event that they lose election, when you are in opposition, you can't do anything. You rely on your past records to be able to make sense to your voters, to appeal to them, to give you the nod the next time.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sir Asante, political scientist, joined me in the studio. And we are still bringing you detailed coverage of the Akwatia by-election. My colleague Evan Spencer in the studio. Evan, slowly but surely, we know that the results are breaking the cover now, trickling in. We're crunching the numbers. What should we expect?
Ominous signs for the MPP tonight, but we're going to be getting the clarity from the Electoral Commission pretty shortly. They are preparing to get the rest of the results from the polling stations, and we're going to have that here on your election headquarters for you, because Brace is on the ground there. We have Blessed Soga in the community. We also have for you tonight Bwachi Yadom, who's also going to give you some reactions, and we are stationed with the two main candidates awaiting their reaction shortly after we hear from the Electoral Commission declaring the results there in the Akwatia on the day when, of course, it was anticipated to be a keenly contested one. It's looking like it may not be exactly as we had planned, just like many had feared that there may be violence today, but the police have shown with the force that they deployed there, 5,500, ensuring that this day had gone on pretty smoothly. If you're calculating 5,500 to 52,000 registered voters, you're talking about one police officer to 10 voters. It is pretty unprecedented in the terms of the force that is showed today, and that is why we've seen pretty much nothing to talk about when it comes to violence. It's been pretty smooth. For the first time, we've had opposition party applaud the police. And I'm quoting here the Deputy General Secretary, who was on the election headquarters just about an hour ago, saying to us that coming into this, they were resolved to use this as a test case, whether to work with the police, to trust it going forward, and that he can say that on the back of what has happened today, where the police's conduct, they are now in the position to say that this police administration is trustworthy. It's a big statement coming from the opposition party, and we will hear more from the party. But one thing that is curious is we cannot find the MPP rep at the collation center. And Brace will join me pretty shortly to give me some clarity on that. The last time we spoke to him a few minutes ago, where Fossey did, he was still scanning the room to see if he can find one prominent MPP collation officer at the collation center. Let's hope that we can get some clarity from him, and then we can get a sense of where the MPP is tonight, because trust me, they've set up their own collation arrangements, and they should know by now where they stand as far as the by-election there is concerned. My guests are joining me, a whole fresh panel who will join me. The regular suspect, Winston Amwa, is with me here on your election headquarters. Also joining me pretty shortly is Musa Dankwa with the Global Info Analytics. He had predicted an NDC victory in the by-elections. Will that pan out exactly? He is here with me on the election headquarters. We'll also be joined by Inusha Fuseni, former Member of Parliament for Tamale Central, will join me. He's also former chair of the Constitutional Affairs Committee in Parliament, will be my guest. Gary Nimako, very known, astute lawyer with the MPP, will also join me. This is where to be on your election headquarters on election night.